morning from Shirakawago. This morning was kind of a quick one. We woke up about 7:30, went to go downstairs to get breakfast at the hotel. Breakfast was just a simple buffet like we always did. Finishing up breakfast, I asked for a cab to be delivered to or hired, I guess, to the hotel at 8:45, and we actually packed everything last night. So we already had everything we needed ready to go. We went, had breakfast, went upstairs, came back downstairs with our luggage, and the cab was just waiting for us already, which was awesome. We threw our luggage in the cab, had the cab take us over to car rental, Times car rental this time, and then we rented a car. It's the first time I got a Toyota this time. I have no idea what it is, but it is a hybrid. Drives really nice. Took us about an hour to get here. After getting here though, there was about maybe a 20-minute wait for a parking spot, as they are limited, but it's perfectly okay. I let Lynn and Ben get out of the car first so that they could come and walk around, because that's really all we had planned. We passed by all these different people's houses like Waseda and Tanaka and whatnot, and the village is quite beautiful. I'm currently on my way up to an observation post that's supposed to have the view of the entire city from the top. Really cool. Other than that, I think what we're going to try to do is probably grab some snacks to just munch on while we're here. And then if we have time, we'll go to Gokuyama, I think that's what it's called, and see that. There should be a lot less people. This is packed. Like, the amount of people that are walking around right now is nothing in comparison to where we came from. I don't think that many people are willing to walk up to the observatory. So, pretty crazy. There's just like barely anybody here. It's crazy. But that being said, gotta go explore a little bit more. Getting blown up on the phone right now real quick, so I'm gonna check that and see what everybody's up to. Maybe we could all meet at the observation post and take some photos. Anyhow, we'll check back in a second here. And welcome back. We are currently at our hotel in Akihabara, Tokyo. The last I checked in, I was about to go to the observation post, and I actually ended up going. The view from up there is amazing. You could see the entire town from that point. Another really amazing thing is they have signs that say that there's a bear hanging around, and there is a bear that hangs around. The little cub. I didn't really hang around all too long because I didn't want to find out where the mom was. But I will say that there were a lot of tourists that just like gathered in one spot and were all like pointing and looking at him. And he was cute, but I don't think it was something I really needed to go too much further on. Second time I saw a bear in Japan, which is pretty intense. I think Lynn got a good photo of him, and I'll just put it up here because I didn't even attempt. I just walked on. What ended up happening was Lynn and Ben were at the complete opposite side of the city, and it was going to take them about 20 minutes to walk up there. Being that we were kind of on a time crunch, I was like, they could walk up there, but the thing is that if they do that, we're just not going to go to the other city, the Gokuyama city, which is pretty much the same thing as Shirakawago, except that it has far less tourists in it. It's far quieter. At least that's what I've been told. Obviously, I didn't go, so I don't know. Lynn and Ben decided that they're going to walk on up to the top, take their time, look around, check out a shrine. Lynn was also trying to find a geocache. Kind of at that point, I just went back down and started walking the rest of the town that I missed, because I kind of made a huge loop to go up to the post, so I only saw one side of the town. I went back and started walking the other side, and that's kind of where Ben and Lynn came back and joined me, and we walked down the main thoroughfare and tried a few snacks. We tried the local beef there. It was skewered, the Wagyu. It was delicious. We also got the croquette with beef in it, a mint katsu, which had beef in it, and those were amazing. The mint was the best out of the two. And a pork bun or a beef bun, meat bun. The minced katsu was the best out of all three, but it didn't come anywhere close to the skewered meat. I mean, it's just straight up beef on a stick is amazing. And so that was a quick snack. Looking at the time, I'm like, okay, we gotta get going. And we just made our way out of the town. You have to cross a long bridge from where the parking area is to the actual town. So we went back, crossed that bridge, got back in the car, and started driving on out. The plan was to stop at a local Michi-no-eki. It's the Shirakawago Michi-no-eki, and just have lunch there. And I was hoping to be able to get beef bowls there because that is actually something that's special at that Michi-no-eki. Unfortunately, they were completely sold out, so no beef bowls for us. But we did get udon, dry ramen, which is what I got, which is another specialty. Dry ramen with certain types of vegetables, mountain vegetables. And then a regular ramen that's actually the specialty of the area, like just a local ramen type. And all the items were good. My dry ramen also came with kind of a meatball on a stick that was barbecued, and that was delicious as well. We also had pickles and tofu and then rice. It was like mine was a complete set. Lynn and Ben both just got noodle soups. In that sense, Ben got the ramen and Lynn got the udon. We ate really fast there because we were literally fighting the clock on this one. Finished our food, hopped back in the car, and just booked it. And I was just making a beeline for the rental car station. The only other thing that we're gonna do was obviously before you return the car, you have to fill it. So I had Lynn look up what the certain rental car stations have suggested or like required gas stations that you have to use. So Lynn actually looked up. There was 3 that this time's Kanazawa rent-a-car had, and Lynn found the one that was kind of like the closest. And from the area, from our approach to back to the train station. So we drove up. Gas was like 177 per liter, and which is amazing. So filled up the tank. Wasn't all that much. Ran over to Times to return the car. We were about 10 minutes late, and they didn't really care. They took the car. The charge for the freeway usage was pretty crazy. It was 1,900 something yen, like 1,950 each way. So ended up being like 19's 38, so 3,900 yen round trip ish. So it wasn't the cheapest thing, but being that there were no bus tickets to get back from Shirakawago, it was really the only option that we had. So spending a little bit more money was fine on that. Getting to the station, this was when we were going to kind of split up. Lynn wanted to go find a geocache, and I wanted to go take another photo of the gate. And we knew we were going to have to get onto a train to get back into Tokyo. Ben, he was going on to Osaka and was really worried about his train. So instead of like we were gonna go take a photo together at the gate, he decided he was just gonna bounce, and which was fine because it just made him feel better. And so he was able to leave Kanazawa quite quickly, actually. As I said, we went and took our photo and video at the giant gate in front of the station, which was awesome. And then went and bought a ticket for the second fastest Shinkansen back to Tokyo from Kanazawa. It's going to take about 3 hours. So we just ran up. Lynn bought an ekiben that looked pretty good. She said it was delicious. And I was kind of just tired, so I didn't really want anything to eat. We went up to the train platform, waited about 5 minutes. The train actually then came. We hopped onto the train, and Lynn was eating and I just passed out, and I think I woke up a little bit before Nagano Station. After that, it was just me being awake and watching a few variety shows on the way back to Tokyo Station. We arrived at Tokyo Station at about a little after 7 and immediately went to the regular station to hop onto a train to go to Akihabara, and that's where we got off. We came immediately to the hotel. This time we're staying at the Via Inn JR Hotel. And speaking of which, why don't we go ahead and do a room tour real quick. So I'll change the camera angle, be right back. Okay, so the elevator is actually around the corner here, and we are in room 2110. But more interestingly enough, as you can see, that this hotel is circular, and the inside is actually hollow. So, very neat. But to go back to our room, here it is. It's very quaint. Not much to see. We have the full body mirror, our coat hanger, the TV. This is the restroom, but Lynn's using it currently, so we'll see that in a second. We have a table with 2 chairs, our fridge, our like coffee tea area set up, phone, and then our 2 beds. And let's see if I open this. I don't know if there's much of a view outside because we are literally in the middle of the city. So, let's see. Okay, it's a view of the train. That's pretty cool. That's not bad. Oh, there's 2 trains going by. Look at that. So, you can hear them, but I don't feel that it's all that loud. We're also on the 21st floor, 2110 being the thing. So we have a pretty good visual of Akihabara as well. Or, I think that's Kanda, actually. Akihabara is behind us. Yeah, oh look, there is Tokyo Skytree. So, I don't know if we'll focus in. Hopefully it does. There it is. But yeah, not a bad skyline. Pretty cool. Alright, and so the bathroom is actually quite large for this room. I almost feel like this is meant for like a single person dwelling, and they're just missing the little kitchen part. So, we have our sink here. Nice large mirror, like, yeah, a very, very crazy toilet. I don't know if this opens. Nope, but we do have a shelf underneath here. And then the shower is quite large. I'm going to turn the light on so that we can see it from here, but it is a double part, and this is what I mean by I think there's like a single person dwelling, because this is the shower part and this is the bath part. It's really fancy. And then beyond that, they made it to where you could see outside. And I think if I flip off the light, yeah, you could really see outside. It has a great view of everything. So a train just passed, but it looked like that was probably the last one for a moment. And then you could see Skytree again, right over there. Oh, and the window opens. That's amazing. But yeah, Washington Hotels over there. Pretty sweet, swanky place. Not bad. Anyhow, yeah, let's go ahead and get this to the talking head segment and finish off the night. So as you can see, the room looks like a single person dwelling. That bathroom is really nice though with that view. And I mean the view behind me right here is not bad either. So it's pretty interesting. We're thinking about going back out in a moment here to just walk around Akihabara a little bit. But last I was saying, we checked into the room, came up, dropped all of our stuff, and literally just ran to go for a dinner reservation that we had at 8. Like I said before, we got to the JR station, Tokyo Station, a little after 7. So it meant that we were here at the hotel, checked in and everything by about 7:30ish. And then we were going to go ahead and run to Ginza because we went to have dinner at Ginza Steak in Ginza Chuo Center. We ran down, got onto the wrong train. I realized that we're going the wrong way when the train announced the next station. I'm like, that should not be the station. It should be a completely different station. We got off of the train, went downstairs to the metro, because the problem was we hopped on to the JR train rather than the Tokyo Metro, and I just looked at what platform we needed. So we corrected that, went back towards Ginza. Unfortunately, because of that time loss, we were going to be about 10 minutes late. Yeah, and then so we got up into Ginza and we walked up and out. I asked for directions. We got out the correct exit, but then my phone was running low on battery, so that might also be another issue, but it was acting wonky when we were trying to get like where the GPS was. The GPS just couldn't figure out which way we had to go, so we just started walking in a direction, and it was actually in the wrong direction, unfortunately. So we had to turn around, we had to cross a couple streets, and we had to walk our way down. But eventually we made it, and we were about 20 minutes late to the appointment. Luckily, though, they didn't care, because they serve you by the appointment time, not by the actual time you get there. And what that kind of means is that you're limited to 120 minutes after you sit down, and it's from the reservation point, and it's all you can eat Wagyu. So it does start off a little bit slow. I had a sea bream carpaccio, and then it went into, for me it was a foie gras, and Lynn got a shabu shabu instead, which hers I think was better than mine, but mine was not bad by any means. I prefer foie gras in whatever that paste form where you put it on bread, and they cooked it, so it was like it had that crispy outer shell, which is good, but like it's just not my preferred way of eating it. And then from there, a potage carrot soup, and that was delicious. We also ordered some drinks. I ordered a white wine sangria. Lynn ordered a red wine sangria. Lynn also got a cola after that, a Coke. And then after our soups, it then came the first round of beef, which is limited. So it was part Kobe and part Kurage, I think it was, the hire. So like sirloin, I believe it is. And it was cooked perfectly. They give you fried garlic, crushed pepper, and ponzu soy sauce to use with the steak. But the steak is salt and peppered prior to getting to you, so you don't really need anything added. And then after that, it became a course of the all-you-can-eat Wagyu, which was, it wasn't A5, it was probably like A3. It was a lesser grade Wagyu and then a higher grade Wagyu. So there was A5 and A3, I think it was. I mean, I have a photo of the menu, so you can actually just see what we ate. But this was just going to keep coming and coming and coming. And it was one of those things where, I don't even know how many fillets did we eat, Lynn? Like altogether? 6?
Yeah, altogether I think we
had 7? Seven fillets, 6 grams each. It's what was written on the thing. So we had like 7 or 8 fillets. Like we just kept going. They also gave a little bit of garlic fried rice and some sort of soup. I don't even remember. It was like a miso soup, but I didn't really bother.
A red soup.
Yeah, a red soup is what Lynn just said. And so we just kept going on the beef, and I was just shooting the breeze with the waiter. The funny thing that I noticed is like everybody in the restaurant was like, if they're a customer, they're foreign. So I wonder either they're all strictly dumpling fans, or they just figured there was a way to get all you could eat Wagyu in Japan. This particular beef this time around was from Tochigi. The cook said that they rotate where they get their Wagyu from. So I'm particular on Miyagi and Kagoshima Wagyu. So it was cool. The Kobe beef was alright. Definitely was not as good as the other beef. I wonder if actually both of them were from Kobe now, thinking about it, because one was described as a cut and the other was described as a place. So it might have just been that both of them were from Kobe. Overall, the meal was fantastic. After we finished all those cuts of steak, they did a last call. We went and got coffee. I got a hot coffee, Lynn got an iced coffee, and then they gave us a little bit of dessert, which I thought was like a cheesecake, piece of ice cream, and some fruit. And that was delicious. Finishing up there, the total bill, which is probably going to be a point of interest, was a little under Goemon. so 50,000 yen. And there is a service charge that they add to it. So not bad for all you could eat, and the fact that we got multiple drinks. And then we paid the bill, finished up. I was probably the only Japanese speaking patron there. They were all happy that I could speak Japanese. I think it was more of a surprise for the first waitress or the attendant that took us to our seats when she was like, oh, what is your name for how many people? And I just said everything, responded with my name, and that it was 2 people in Japanese. And she's like, oh, you speak Japanese? I was like, yeah, a little maybe. And then she took us to the seat, described everything that was going to happen. She actually gave us kind of a rundown, looked at the menu. The menu for Ginza steak, there are, at least the one here at Central Ginza, there were 3 options. There's like the regular, there is a better, like a upgraded, and then there is the top of the line, like chef suggested. And we just did 2 of the chef suggested. Now, one of the cool things was that the attendant did ask, is there anything that we saw on the menu that we weren't really interested in? And Lynn does not like foie gras. So I just mentioned that, and that's why she had the shabu shabu rather than the foie gras. Really great on service from them. But yeah, so we finished, went upstairs. It was in the basement, which was a kind of a funny thing. They did have hoods, so I wonder if that made it easier or harder or what. Lynn saw a building from the upstairs though as we were leaving the restaurant, and she's like, what is that? I'm like, I have no idea. Let's just walk on down to see it. And so we kind of just took a night stroll into Ginza after that and checked some places around there. That was actually really cool as well. The building that Lynn saw ended up being a museum of sorts. It had some crazy lights going on for it, which was kind of cool. Also, we got to see all these brand places as we walked down. It was crazy. Like, Ginza is just so rich. You know, I quite wonder like where the richest part of Tokyo is, and I think it could be argued it's either in Roppongi or in Ginza. Like, and I wonder if it goes back and forth or if there's just one that is a pure winner at all times and never dies. Because if you count the Tokyo Station area as well, that part's also a super rich area of Tokyo. I don't know. It's interesting. After finding out that it was a museum, we then went to the station, hopped on to the metro, came over to Kanda Station before coming back to the hotel. On the walk back, Lynn said that Sophia Nygaard found a vending machine corner here in Akihabara, and she went to go buy some stuff out of it. She thinks we found it. I'll have to go look to see Sophia Nygaard's video. I've not seen it, but it is a pretty unique corner. It's different for sure. So that was really interesting. Just going and seeing, they had a weird, like an eclectic variety of goods that were being sold out of the vending machines. So that was very different. Yeah, there's just all sorts of stuff. Yeah, a rotary phone. There was like a pregnancy tester. There was all sorts of weird stuff. But that being said, it's just right down the street from our hotel. So we then walked over here to the hotel, came on up to drop off some drinks and kind of just take a little break, finish off this video. I am actually debating whether I want to go into Akihabara. It is midnight now, so I don't think there's going to be all that much open. There might be, but probably not stuff that I'm going to be too interested in getting into anyways. So I think I'm going to go ahead and finish the video off here, say goodnight, and we will see you on the last day here in Japan, the next vid. Good night.